Hello Patriots out there, Robert Ham with Va2A News today, reporting from the Virginia Conference Center in Virginia Beach. As you can see, we've got a gun show going on. Earlier today, the crowds were packed out this door. The line continued from roughly 8 or 9 o'clock this morning until just past 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's finally died down. Virginians are coming out here to exercise their Second Amendment rights, purchase firearms, look at new wares and things that might be of advantage to them. Now, I was going to film inside, but I was asked for safety and security reasons not to film inside the actual event space. However, was given permission to photograph here and film, and I've had several really great conversations with people attending today's gun show. What I'd like to do is share with you some of those interviews right now. So let's go ahead and roll that. Hey, I'm Rob with Va2A News. What's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew, nice to chit-chat with you. I'm happy that you're over here talking. Hey,
I'm his dad.
Hey, that's Matthew's dad. Well, we can't do that. We'll get some knuckles there. Hey, what's up, Matthew's dad? So tell me what's going on here today.
It's SGK gun show. This year, since last month, since the governor Northam and stuff has announced all those things that he's doing, they've been a lot more packed.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, I've been going around to the gun shops too, and they're saying the sales are through the roof. What do you think's going on with all this gun control?
I think it's silly, man. Him and other politicians are encroaching on our rights.
This new idea of get rid of all the guns, it's the person's fault. Tell me about that.
About taking away all the guns?
Yeah.
Like I said before, it's silly. It's just, why are we even talking about this? Like, it shouldn't be coming out of their mouths. It's just, I believe that there is going to be another Civil War II that's going to happen.
1776.2.
Yep.
What do you think is going to start it?
Extremists on both sides.
Okay.
Extremists on left side, if they're not happy, if it doesn't go through like the governor wants, you're going to have those group of people that are just not going to be happy, and they're going to strike without retaliate. Or you're going to have on our side, you know, where we're Second Amendment supporters, and if governor gets his way, they're going to react. And whether or not you're an extremist or not, you're going to have to be forced to react, because you're either one, you're a victim, or you're not. And
right.
Two, are you going to wait for it to come to your doorstep or not?
So how do you change it?
Well, you got your political way.
Yeah. That's happening now, right?
Correct. That's going on now.
Is it working in your opinion?
Not really.
Okay, it's not working?
No.
Okay, what's next? Well, what else? You got the political way, and
next is it's why the Second Amendment was created.
Yeah.
That's the next step, is eventually we the people are going to have to decide when enough is enough and when we're going to take up arms. And I'm in no way in this video am I instigating or anything like that saying that to do that. But you're going to have to make that decision, and that's where it's going to boil down.
It won't be on a whole nation or person. It'll be on an individual basis, right? People aren't acting as an organized unit. It's not like there's a Virginia militia running around.
There are. I have seen where there has been militias created.
They're not advocating violence right now.
No, they're not, in no way means. But it's just it's just a way of trying to protect ourselves, you know.
Absolutely.
And feel security.
Why do you think that people up on Capitol Hill feel they can get away with this? Why do you think that it's something? This wasn't a problem before the November 5th election, and it hadn't been a problem for decades.
Selfishness and feelings being hurt.
Feelings over facts, you mean, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Matthew, I've enjoyed chit-chatting with you today. Thanks for your time.
Can I leave with one statement?
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. Look right into the camera.
I was recently watching this one video, and Benjamin Franklin once said, "When a man trades his freedom for his safety, he deserves neither."
So really thanks a lot to Matthew for having your thoughts go out there. I spoke to several other people. In fact, most people wanted to talk quite a bit, but wanted to have their identity concealed for fear of repercussion because of the stigma that firearms brings. You know, there's a lot of bad publicity and bad press, and that's one thing that our government has done that's made the founding of this nation on the back of the rifle something a stigma to have and use in normal everyday society. So most people didn't want to talk about that on camera. But let me share some of their sentiments with you. And of course, this coming from me as third-party authority. But number one thing is people are concerned about the right to keep and bear arms and their civic freedoms here in Virginia. It's on everyone's thought, it's on their mind, they're thinking about it and they're talking about it. And they're very concerned that people in Richmond are 2 or 3 standard deviations or sets away from what an average Virginian might think or feel. Like, when was the last time the governor went and bought a loaf of bread? Probably not recent. I bumped into this gentleman that you saw pictured here. He was discussing House Bill 961 with those that might not be in the know. He had the bill with him, an abstract, and he was discussing the financial impact summary of the bill as outlined by Virginia, specifically comments from the state police about implementing the registration and permitting process. It was a really great conversation, and the number one thing that he wanted people to know was that House Bill 961 is a registration for assault firearms, and although it came about because of political pressure, we need to do more to change it. Let's continue. Another thing that people are talking about is what happens when these bills are passed, like 961, the assault weapons or assault firearms ban that's coming through. What happens to people that choose not to comply? And the feeling is that maybe there could be some concern, specifically with red flag laws and with confiscations that may come out because of not compliant with the law. Now let's remember that these laws that are being passed so fervently right now, that are being thrown in our face, were not a problem. They were not an issue prior to November 5th last year, when we had the election that took the House and the Senate over to the Democratic side. That, aligned with a Democratic governor, is what has brought all of this very immediate or urgent feeling action for passing of gun laws. Last year, there was no issue. The year before, there was no issue. The year before that. Some people do bring up the shooting that took place in Virginia Beach, and as we're in Virginia Beach, that's a very near and dear subject to most of our hearts. But we also recognize that it was the lack of firearms and the lack of the ability to protect yourself in a gun-free zone that allowed those terrible travesties to happen. Most people that I have talked to today have felt that if the people in Building 2 had had the ability to protect themselves, they would have been able to put a swift end to that terrible massacre. Also, had the assailant known that others were armed, they probably wouldn't have attempted it anyway. Whenever we see gun-free zones, we see places where people are harmed and there is no liability for the government official or the governing body that instills that gun-free zone. And that's something that needs to be changed. That was something that was on the topic of people's minds today. Let's turn the conversation to citizen involvement. Record amounts of people are signing up for the Virginia Citizens Defense League in order to show their support for the Second Amendment. This grassroots, citizen-organized lobbying group has been helping Virginia maintain great gun rights for the past 20 years, but now it's being stressed more than ever. The lobby group today was passing out information as well as attracting new members in order to help join the fight for the gun rights challenge here to come. Another thing on the minds of people was West Virginia's offer to bring in border counties or anyone or any county in Virginia to West Virginia in the Virginia secession. This is a real offer. It was proposed by the House, it was passed, and the governor of West Virginia did talk about it, and it is on the hearts and minds of people attending the gun show in Virginia Beach. If you've never been to a gun show before, it's an exciting place, and as shown today, you can talk about a myriad of topics and meet many different types of people of all race, religions, colors, and creeds. It was a great time, and I was happy to be there. And you won't see any of this reporting from a local station because media outlets were not allowed to be there. Va2A News received special permission, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to go inside the actual areas where the sales and the gun show is taking place. Wouldn't that be great? If you like what you watched, don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps quite a bit. And don't forget to check out that PayPal button. Give what your heart desires. Send me a cup of coffee if you enjoy what we're doing. So that about wraps it up today for coverage of the Knife and Gun Show here at the Virginia Beach Convention Center. I'm Robert Ham with Virginia's Second Amendment News. I'm reporting for your rights. Thank you for watching.